So apparently there's restaurants in the world where you can eat and play games. And these are completely different to any restaurant you've ever seen. Not only do they look incredibly cool, but they've also got features that I've never seen in any other restaurant, like dedicated gaming zones, video game inspired food, and a whole lot more. Now, my girlfriend Emily says that I don't take her on enough dates. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take our two favorite things, gaming and food, and mash them together and go to 6 of the world's craziest gaming restaurants. And we're gonna rate them out of 15 based on 3 things: appearance, taste, and experience. So to kick things off, I've got to head to London. So this is Platform, our first video game themed restaurant. I've seen some pictures of this thing online. They look pretty cool. On Google reviews, it's got a 4.5 star rating. So I've got Emily here to see if this is a good first date location, but overall, we want to see if it's worth that 4.5 stars. Oh my God. Emily, look at this place, man. As soon as we walked in, we were brought to our table, which has a built-in gaming console with a PS5 and a Nintendo Switch. After this, I couldn't wait to check out what they had on the menu. It's all video game themed. Look at this, we got go on a side quest for sides, strategies on how to order. Even the names of the pizzas are gaming themed. We got the level 1, we got the NES Classic, we got the Super Mario Toadstool, we got the Farmville. They even have a Farmville pizza. So we ordered.
Oh, can I have the NES Classic? 2 of them, that'd be great. Thank you.
And while we wait for our food, it's time for a restaurant tour. Now, apart from the gaming setup that you have at your table,
There's even like bigger booths if you come here with a group of friends.
there is even a whole PC area. We've got a keyboard, mouse, headset. Gaming chairs are pretty comfy. But if you're more into retro gaming, they have arcade machines and retro consoles like the Super NES. But if those games aren't enough retro for you,
There's Super Mario Guess Who.
even if you don't want a game at all, they have something for you.
I've never seen a bar where you can watch World of Warcraft live streams. I've never ever seen anything like that.
As far as appearances go, this place is dressed from head to toe with some crazy LED lighting and some of the coolest looking gaming memorabilia I've ever seen. Like, as soon as you walk in, there's an entire wall filled with floating PS4 controllers.
Honestly, wherever you go, there's funky lighting, different types of games. Yeah, man, this place is so cool.
So we cracked open our nice cold drinks, and the first item of food arrived: the cheesy nachos. Not bad for the first food of the video, but whilst we wait for our main course, there was only one way we were going to spend our time. We had to load up a game of Super Smash Bros, and to make things interesting, we said that the loser was going to pay for the food.
That was the quickest game ever.
I'm a no.
Before I even had a chance to celebrate, our pizza had arrived.
Oh my word.
Woo. So this pizza is called the NES Classic. It's just a margarita. This place has been amazing so far, but can the pizza live up to the high standards they've already set?
Yeah. I think the pizza is very nice. I think it is a really cool place.
I think it's very cool.
It's got great pizza, great
pizza.
great amount of games.
I wish there was more food.
The pizza was pretty standard, but you know what? Just playing games with Emily at the restaurant table, I think somehow in my head made it taste a little bit nicer. But as we finished up our food, it was time for Emily to pay the bill and give this place its official review. So Emily, what did you think of Platform?
I was quite impressed. You know, it's our first date in a while. It was a lot better actually than I thought it would be.
I thought it was a lot better than I thought it would be. So, scores. Appearance. I'm going to say 5 for appearance. I thought it looked really cool.
I'm going to say 5 as well.
Taste, I'm going to give it, what, a 3? Do you reckon a 3 is good?
I feel like a 3 is fair.
The food was good, it just, there wasn't a lot of it, so we're going to give it a 3. Finally, experience. What are you saying?
I feel like, personally, we're going to get something that might be better than that. So, for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, we'll agree on a 4. I think 4 is very fair. I had a lot of fun. 12 out of 15 is a good score, and it currently ranks Platform as our best restaurant yet. It is the only restaurant we have been to, but it's still the highest.
So let's head to our next restaurant.
Let's go. Now, we've still got 5 more gaming restaurants to check out, and they're only going to get crazier and crazier as we move on. But to get to the next one, I was going to have to travel a very long way, all across the Atlantic, to Las Vegas. Now, the reason why I'm all the way in Vegas is because HP and Intel flew me out here to cover CES, the world's largest tech convention. And they're kindly sponsoring this video, as these videos take a lot of money to make. I have to fly all the way around the world to make these videos. So before we move on with our next gaming restaurant, I want to tell you about their newest product, the OMEN MAX 16, as its specs are quite incredible. First of all, it's rocking an Intel Core Ultra 275HX CPU with 24 cores and up to 5.4 GHz. This processor will make this laptop the peak of gaming and content creation. Thanks to Intel's AI, we'll have access to better power efficiency, better game performance, and faster AI-based tasks like image and video generation, all thanks to this processor's dedicated NPU. This laptop is also rocking 32 GB of DDR5 RAM, 2 TB worth of storage, and it is also taking advantage of Nvidia's new GPU range. This thing has got an incredibly powerful 5080 inside of it. Yeah, with these specs, you'll be able to crank up the game settings to the absolute max while still enjoying buttery smooth frames and gameplay. Thanks to the new AI enhancements like DLSS4 and OMEN's new game AI enhancer, which will literally take the current game you're playing and optimize your settings to give you a way higher FPS. I mean, if you just take a look at the before and after, it's pretty insane. There's also fan cleaning tech in this laptop that was co-engineered with Intel to make sure that the fans stay as dust-free as possible. And to top this laptop off, we've got a 16-inch 2560x600 display. This laptop is definitely here to dominate the gaming and content creation scene, so if you want to go check it out, there'll be a link in the description. Anyways, now it's time to move on to our next gaming restaurant.
So right now we're heading to our next gaming restaurant, Player One. It is technically a bar, but there are a lot of food options here than some of the other places we're visiting. Plus on Google, it has a 4.5 star rating, so let's go check out if it's worth it. Yo, what the hell? This place is insane. Look at how many machines. I'm so annoyed Emily's not here. This place honestly looks like one of the best places to take someone on a date to.
Literally, this was like an entire warehouse full of video games. Modern day games, retro games, arcade games. I even found my favorite original Xbox game, The Simpsons Hit and Run. Some of you are probably too young to know what that is. It was basically GTA with Simpsons. But then I wanted to see what the food was like. And they had a few options. You could get pizza, nachos, hot dogs. So I chose to get a hot dog. And it was pretty mid, can't lie. It wasn't amazing. It was fine. It was just fine. After that, I spent the rest of the night testing out some of the games. I set a new high score with Pac-Man, and then it was time to leave my review.
So that was Player One. Like I said, I'm gonna speed through this because I'm here on my own. Now for appearance, I'm gonna give it a 4. The place looks really solid. It is literally decked out from ceiling to floor with loads of gaming memorabilia. The place looks awesome. There was a lot of food options, can't lie. Tasted quite basic. So I'm gonna give it a 2. Just shows that quantity isn't as good as quality. Finally, experience. Right now, because I'm on my own, I'm gonna give it a 3. It would be a 4 or 5 if I had someone here with me, but just because I'm here on my own, I'm gonna rate it a 3. However, like I said, it would be a 5 or a 4 if I had someone with me, because I still had a really good time. But anyway, now it's time to move on to our next gaming restaurant. And for that, I've got to fly all the way back to the UK.
So this is our next gaming restaurant, Patty Freaks. Now this place mainly does smash burgers, but there's a lot of gaming stuff to do inside this restaurant. It's a 4.6 star on Google, so let's go check out if it's any good. As soon as you walk in, you're met with old retro gaming consoles. I don't know how the hell they got a hold of these, but they look awesome. So once I found a table, I began to look through the menu, and there were so many different burger combinations to choose from. But if you are a picky eater like me, there's only one thing to get.
Could I just get a plain Jane, please? Salted skin on fries and a Pepsi, please.
That's 19.
Okay. Cheers, thank you very much.
So now that we had ordered our food, it was time to go play some games. Like I said earlier, there are so many retro games here. They got old versions of Mario Kart, Sonic the Hedgehog, GoldenEye 007, the very first version of Tekken, and also
FIFA 07, pre-owned, $3.99.
So we went ahead and played all of the games, but it didn't take long for our food to arrive, and it looked incredible. So the only thing left to do now was taste it. Right now on my face, you can just see me realizing that this is actually an incredible tasting burger. I mean, just look at the real-time footage of us eating this meal. So that was Patty Freaks. What an experience that was. For appearance, I'm gonna give it a 3. It looks okay. For taste though, this might have been the best meal I've had yet. I'm gonna give it a 5. The burger was absolutely incredible. And for experience, there wasn't too much gaming things to do, but you know, there was a good few retro games there. So I'm gonna give it a solid 4. 12 out of 15 is a pretty good score. But now we've got to move on to the next restaurant. Scotland! We're in Scotland, more specifically Edinburgh, for our next gaming restaurant. And when I say restaurant, more of a bar. However, it is entirely Fallout themed. It's called the Cocktail Geeks, and I've seen a few pictures of this place online, and they have themed everything from the menus to the way the drinks are poured. Like, everything is Fallout themed. This one is a 4.7 rated on Google. Honestly, I'm kind of excited, and I don't even drink alcohol. I'm hoping that they'll do some non-alcoholic drinks and it will live up to the 4.7 star rating, because honestly, this place looks amazing. I want to go check it out, so let's head in. As soon as we walked in, we were met with some of the craziest theming I've ever seen in a bar before. And luckily, we were given a seat right next to the bar so we could see everything that was happening. So once our friendly waiter told us how the place worked, it was time to start our Fallout experience.
Emily, have you seen this Vault Survival Guide?
It looks so cool.
This is the drinks menu. Look at this. The whole menu is Fallout themed. How cool is that? We're starting off with some purified water, as the menu would call it. It is just water, but you know, it's video game themed. I just realized there's a death claw above above my head as well.
I've only just noticed that.
Whilst our experience so far had been amazing, it was time to see if they could do something that no one else could ever do. Make a mocktail that I actually like.
I'll start off with a fancy lads. That's right.
Stim pack.
Now that we've ordered, it's time for a restaurant tour.
Holy shit. The detail's incredible.
The entire place was covered in the most insane Fallout artwork and even decorated with life-size props from things from the game. Literally, there was stuff everywhere you looked. And the open bar was a really cool and immersive experience. The only thing it didn't have was an actual gaming console, so this place's rating was going to heavily rely on the taste of the drinks.
That's you. Oh my word.
As you can see from this, the drinks do look incredibly cool, but I was about to hear something that I've never heard in a restaurant before.
Oh my word.
Needles? Well, since when was there needles? What kind of restaurant needs to use a needle? It turns out that because Emily had ordered the drink called the Stim Pack, they were actually going to use a Stim Pack replica to pour the drink. The level of detail in this place is incredible.
Thank you. Oh my word. Right, taste them. What do you think? Very good.
Although Emily enjoyed her drink, it was now time to taste mine. And I don't really drink any sort of alcohol, and I've never even drank a mocktail in my life. And since this place didn't serve food, this place's entire rating was going to depend on this drink. I don't really like alcohol or like cocktails or mocktails. This thing's amazing. Oh my god, I love it. And whilst drinking, the staff told us that this place actually changes its theme every single 4 months. It's had a Last of Us, Super Mario theme, Star Wars, and now we're on Fallout. Like, there is a whole lot of detail in this place. That takes a lot of work.
Genuinely, that one drink has got me wanting more now.
So we ordered more. Oh my god, this is so nice. And more.
That's really nice.
And more. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we were absolutely loving this place. The sheer amount of effort and care put into every single aspect of this restaurant was just truly amazing. But after finishing our final drinks and having a wonderful night, it was time to review this place. Emily, what did you think of the Cocktail Geeks?
Honestly, my opinion was, I think it's the best place that we've been to so far.
It was insane. For appearance, what are we saying? I'm gonna have to give it a 5. Like, it was so detailed, and the fact that they changed the appearance of the place every 4 months, that's mind-boggling.
I'm gonna give it a 5 as well.
What are we saying for taste? I'm gonna have to give it a 5. I mean, we didn't have any food.
But it tasted all just really good.
I have genuinely never liked mocktails or any sort of alcoholic drink. This place has changed that, so it's gonna have to be a 5. Lastly, experience. I'm gonna have to say a 5. The people were friendly, the whole place was incredibly well themed. 5?
I think it's 5s all
I
around.
think it's 5s all around. This place was incredible. Not exactly a gaming restaurant, but for a cocktail bar, it's a perfect score. But now we've got to move on to our next restaurant, so let's head there. So with a score of 15 out of 15, Cocktail Geeks is currently rated the best gaming restaurant. It's not really a restaurant, but you know, it's the best gaming food and drink place. Yeah, that's what it is. But to get to our next restaurant, we've got to go all the way back to Scotland. We're still here. And this is our next gaming restaurant, NQ64. This place has a lot of retro arcade games. And even though it is technically a bar, they do sell a lot of food as well. It's got a Google review of 4.5, so let's head in and see if it's worth it. As soon as you walk in, there's a bar, but if you look behind you, you'll be meted with practically every single retro game you could ever possibly imagine. And you even have some console games too. To be able to play the games, all you gotta do is go up to the bar and ask for some tokens. So now that I had them, it was time to go and play. Of course, there's a lot of things that you'll see in any arcade, like this basketball hoop game, Mario Kart, classics like Dance Dance Revolution, Pac-Man, Pinball, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and so much more. But now it was time to test out the food and drinks, which just like the other restaurants were all video game themed. I can't lie, we forgot to get any footage of us eating them. But that brings us to the end of NQ64. For appearances, I'm gonna have to give it a 5. Literally every single millimeter of this place has been insanely decorated. For taste, it's gonna get a 3. Just like Platform, the only real food they have is pizza, so there's not much variety. But finally, experience. Me and Emily had honestly such a good time. There is honestly so much to do here. You could spend hours in this place with the amount of games that they have. So I think a 4 is quite fair. NQ64 gets a total score of 12 out of 15. But now we've got to travel to our final gaming restaurant, and we've saved one of the craziest for last. So that is Enamo, our last and final gaming restaurant. So this restaurant serves Asian cuisine, and on the website it shows that it has some crazy features like touchscreen tables, and it also has a deluxe gaming room with 2 150-inch screens. The Google reviews say that this place is a 4.3 stars out of 5, so let's go see if it's worth it. I'll cross the street when the bikes have gone. There's quite a few. No. No. Now, before we head into the private game room, the restaurant wanted to show us something that I've never seen in any restaurant before.
Oh, wow. These are the funkiest tables I've ever seen.
We've got these like sort of crazy tables. The guy explained to us that we can order food on here, we can play games. So I had a look through the menu, and as someone who is a picky eater, I can't lie, I was a bit worried.
Are you alright? Why are you worried?
I'm a picky eater. I'm a really picky eater. Like if I just go onto the menu here, what the hell is that? I don't know if there's anything here that I like. Despite being a picky eater, I decided that I was just gonna push through it and decided to order a sushi plate. And whilst we were waiting for it to arrive, we were able to play a few games on the table. Some pretty standard ones like Pong, this sort of hockey game, and there was even a drawing app where I decided to draw a portrait of Emily. But then the food arrived.
Let's try it. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Since I had unlocked a new taste for sushi, it was time to tuck into the rest of the meal, and it was going really well. Emily was busy trying to figure out what this green ball was. Turns out it's wasabi.
I don't know what that was exactly, but it's just blown my head off.
Once we had finished our starters, it was time to move on to the whole reason as to why we came to this place.
Oh my. We get this whole room to ourselves. We've got a big seating area down here. On the wall, we've got 2 projectors, one displaying a PS5, the other displaying Mario Kart on the Wii. And our menu is this tablet. The Asian Wagyu Burger, Fries and Slaw. I'll have that. So while we patiently waited for our food to arrive, we decided to load up the 150-inch cinema screens to play some games on. It's weird to have a PlayStation 5 controller in a posh restaurant like this, but it was a lot of fun, and it did make the wait time seem a lot shorter than it was. Like, I genuinely can't tell you how long I waited for the food because I was too invested in beating Emily at FIFA. Like, I think the wait time for the food was probably about 2 matches long, whatever that equates to. But now it was time to eat the food and reunite with an old enemy. I'm not eating that. Oh God. What's that?
Cucumber.
That's not a cucumber, bro.
Welcome to my mukbang. Good start.
Look, bang on the table, yeah, nice.
Luckily, our main courses finally arrived, and we spent the rest of the meal playing a few games and eating some delicious food. Emily, what did you think of Anamo?
I was quite impressed, I must say.
I was impressed considering I am a bit of a picky eater, so there wasn't much for me on the menu that I could have had, but what I did have, I was pleased with. Now for appearance, I'm going to give this place a 3. I feel like the aesthetic doesn't go too crazy, but it's still nice. But for taste, I'm going to give these guys a 4. They unlocked taste buds, which I didn't even realize I had. So considering that happened, then I had a really fun time playing games with Emily while we waited for our food, I'm going to give this place a 5 for experience as well. So with that final score, it does mean that Cocktail Geeks takes the crown for the best gaming restaurant, even though it isn't even a restaurant really. But you know what, at the end of the day, I was able to travel to so many places with my favorite person in the world. We ate some amazing food, and now I realize I also like sushi. So that's what I'm taking away from this video. Anyways, you should click this video next because YouTube thinks that you'll like it. I mean, you should. It's a pretty good one.